When my daughters were still living at home, we used to play a lot of board games. We used to play a lot of Monopoly and Scrabble, Mancala, and a ton of Boggle. We used to play a lot of Boggle. And I was just looking for my game the other day and I can't find it anywhere, which makes me very sad. I don't know if I lent it to somebody and they just didn't give it back, or if I gave it as a gift thinking that I would just buy another one. I'm not sure, but ours is missing. So if anyone knows Santa, you can tell him that is definitely what I would like to have for Christmas is a Boggle game, and like the classic Boggle. I saw one that had a digital timer and like some other mechanisms. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the classic box of letters with the little timer that you flip over when the sand is finished going through. Classic Boggle. I would ask Santa for this other game too, but I have no idea what it's called. I just got introduced to it last year, and it's kind of like broken telephone, but you draw things so you're given a word or a phrase and you draw it, and then you flip it over and then you pass it to the person next to you. And I think they look at your drawing, but they don't see the original phrase. They just see your drawing, and then they have to write down what they think your drawing was of. And then they pass that over, and then the next person has to draw the phrase that they wrote. And it goes all the way around the table. And then you show each other the pictures and how the phrases changed and how the pictures changed. And it's really, really hilarious. And I'm not describing it very well at all. But if any of you know what I'm talking about, please write the name of the game in the comments, because I have no idea what it is. My girlfriend loves board games too, but she's very loyal to backgammon and a game that she calls Rummy, that I'm not sure if that's actually the name, but it's a number. It looks like dominoes, but not really. And there's just numbers on it, and you have to add up to 30. And I don't like math, so it's not my favorite. I prefer words to numbers, and she's the other way around. She likes counting and strategizing, and I'm not that kind of. The kind of strategizing I like is figuring things out. Like, I love Clue, and I did trick her into playing a game of Clue with me the other day, because I told her that all she had to do was just sit at the table with me so I could record this video. And if she could just sit there and pretend to play Clue for 2 seconds so I could shoot this video. And then I put snacks on the table to keep her there. And then tricked her into playing a whole game of Clue with me, which I won. Obviously, half the fun of game night is the snacks that you serve and, more importantly, eat. And so this video features some really, really tasty vegan sausage rolls, or plant-based sausage rolls that are, well, I'm not going to tell you what's in them. You have to watch it. And also some Spinach Artichoke Phyllo Cups, and then a twist on classic popcorn. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have any suggestions for games or snacks or comments or questions, please leave them below in the comments. I sauteed some leeks and minced garlic in a bit of olive oil, and when the onions began to become translucent, I added chopped walnuts, diced parsnips, and mixed mushrooms. Once the mushrooms were tender and well cooked, I took them off the heat and let them cool. I took a sheet of puff pastry and sliced it vertically down the middle, creating 2 separate sheets. And on each sheet, I divided half the filling. Make sure that your filling is sort of in an even line so that it's not too stuffed in certain areas and missing filling in other areas. So try and get it as equal as you possibly can. Of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I would take a pastry brush, or even your fingertips, or a damp cloth dipped in water, and then just wet the 2 vertical sides a little bit so that when you roll it, those sides will stick to each other and your sausage rolls won't just open up while they're baking. When you're rolling the sausage roll, don't be too worried that it feels like you have a lot of dough. Don't leave a ton of air in between. Make sure you really have enough filling in there, but it doesn't have to be super, super tight or exploding because your puff pastry is going to expand while it's baking. Repeat the same system with the second half of the puff pastry and second half of the mushroom mixture. And then slice your rolls into, I wouldn't say bite-sized pieces, maybe 2 bites, 2 to 3 bites max to have the most amount of sausage rolls. These are meant to be kind of more appetizer. They're not a meal, obviously. Once your rolls are all sliced, you can put them on a piece of parchment and pop those in the oven. Oh yeah, but first brush the tops with a little bit of olive oil so they're not too dry on the top. And then sprinkle, if you want, totally optional. I like to sprinkle sesame seeds on the top of the oiled rolls. I imagine you could probably also use poppy seeds or chia seeds. It's little tiny seeds. I'm not saying you can't use big ones. If you love big seeds, go for it. But I just find because the sausage rolls are already pretty small, it's nice to decorate them with little tiny seeds. There's so many different dipping sauces that you could use for these sausage rolls. You don't have to have any if you don't want to. They're really tasty all by themselves. But I made a vegan honey mustard sauce out of some mayonnaise and some lemon juice and Dijon mustard and a bit of French's mustard, and then also some vegan honey. But you don't have to use vegan honey. You could use agave, you could use maple syrup. I had too much left over, but then I just added some olive oil and a bit of kind of sweet vinegar to it and made a salad dressing, which we kept eating for the rest of the week. Look how cute these are. They're so adorable. So cute. And you see what I mean? They filled out just fine. For the artichoke filling, I used a homemade cream cheese, but you can buy your own. I like to make it myself because a lot of the commercial vegan cream cheese are full of a lot of coconut oil and stuff. I just wanted it to be made out of cashews. I have some canned artichokes and some breadcrumbs and seasoning, frozen spinach, some sauteed onions and garlic. Make sure you thaw out the frozen spinach and squeeze out the moisture really, really, really well. You can buy little phyllo cups already prepared if you want to. I had a roll of the big sheets and I have a mini muffin tin, so I oiled the muffin tins really well, and then I layered just 2 sheets of the phyllo squares that I cut out of the sheet. I find these are so fun, and also the phyllo dough has a lot less fat than the puff pastry dough does. So if you're being mindful of that, this is definitely a better choice. Then I divided the filling up into the little phyllo cups. If you want, you can lightly oil the tips so that they don't dry out too much, but I forgot to do it entirely with this batch and they turned out just fine. Not all game nights require fancy snacks and hors d'oeuvres, of course. Sometimes you just spontaneously want to play games and eat some Chex. I don't even know how to say it. Chex mix, party mix, snack mix, I don't know, trail mix, whatever mix. I like popcorn with a bit of vegan butter and some nutritional yeast. So good. I tried making Cracker Jack for the first time in my life, and I have to say it stressed me out a little bit. I didn't realize I was trying to reach certain temperatures. There's an art to it, apparently. But I'm pleased to say that I didn't give up halfway through, although I had a moment where it felt a little bit daunting. It's really simple and straightforward. I made a big deal out of it for nothing, just because I've never done it before. Apparently, the original Cracker Jack recipe has corn syrup in it, and corn syrup is just so garbage for you. It's just so not healthy on so many levels that I looked for one that did not have corn syrup in it, and this one has a molasses caramel instead. I can't remember the name of the website off the top of my head, but I did bookmark it, so I'll copy paste the link into the description of this video in case you want to try it out. So you just pop a bunch of popcorn, obviously, add peanuts because that's what makes Cracker Jack, really. And then you make a molasses caramel. You pour the caramel all over the popcorn and peanuts. It's insanely hot, as you can kind of see in the video even, so don't touch it. Resist the temptation to taste it or stick your fingers in it. Just mix it really, really well with a big spoon. And then once all of the popcorn and peanuts are really, really well coated, it's going to go in the oven. So you could either oil a cookie sheet or use a silicone mat, I guess. I'm just saying that. I've never done it. I used parchment paper on a cookie sheet. It worked great. Nothing stuck to the paper. So that is my advice to you. But use whatever works for you in your kitchen. Spread it out evenly so that it's not piled up on top of each other too much, or you'll get a lot of clumping and stickiness and it'll take longer to dry out afterwards. And then it's going to go in the oven at 250 for about 20 minutes. And then when it comes out, it's still going to be very soft and hot. So you're going to leave it alone until it's completely cooled. And when it is cool, it's ready to eat. And I don't know if it was the molasses taste or I don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. And it's supposed to taste best the day you make it. But honestly, the day after, I thought it was really good. Like, I liked it better the day after. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and enabling the notifications by clicking on the little bell, wherever it is. I can never remember. If you are a Patreon subscriber, thank you so very, very much. It means so much to me that you believe in this work and that you are contributing to help make this channel possible. I wish you all a really wonderful day. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye.